Hey guys, welcome to Dropshipping on the Couch. I'm Joe. This is my brother Mike. We're from buildassetsonline.com. And usually I kind of ask Mike the questions as the format of the video. But today he's going to ask me the question because we're talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is dropshipping versus retail arbitrage on Amazon. So yeah, let's talk about it.
So we're going to flip the script here. So, Joe, if you could briefly describe your arbitrage journey, I think it's important.
Well, online arbitrage or retail arbitrage on Amazon was actually how I got started with making money online back in 2014. And I bought a course, I forgot what it was called, but it was by Jessica LaRue, who runs, I think it's thesellingfamily.com. And it was actually a really, really good course because I got lucky where the first course that I bought for online marketing, I don't want to say, actually, probably part luck, part because I worked hard at it, but I was able to be successful with that course pretty quickly. Like I was making money in like 2 weeks. I wasn't making drastic amounts of money, but I was making enough to be like, oh, like this works. I could scale this and quit my job like pretty quickly, which is what I ended up doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, you want to like discuss some of the pros of that and also the pitfalls?
Yeah. So I would say the good part about it is that you can make money like really fast. You know, if you don't know how to set up a website, like, you know, I would say there's much less like technical hurdles than dropshipping. Yeah. Not that there's many.
Well, so I think we should clarify what retail arbitrage is exactly and the exact way that you were doing it. So arbitrage, by definition, is essentially just buying something somewhere and then
buying low, selling high.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So I would go. I didn't even say this, but long story short, I would go to like the clearance section at like Walmart or Target, and maybe they'd be selling like some Pepto-Bismol for like 99 cents, but really it went for like $12.99 on Amazon. So I'd walk around with my phone. I would like scan the barcodes with the Amazon app. There was actually like different apps at the time because Amazon didn't have their app fully built out yet. So yeah, I would scan the stuff, you know, it would tell me my profit margin. I would go home, label whatever products I got. I had to get a label printer, basically put them in a box and then ship them to an Amazon warehouse where, you know, they would sell. And mainly it was going on to listings that already existed. So there's really no making like new listings or anything like that. So that's why I say it was pretty like easy. Like there's very few like technical like things to do. You just scan it, label it, ship it. I mean, there is a lot of Amazon rules. Don't get me wrong.
But so, I mean, essentially, you were just going to the clearance section, buying things that you could sell on Amazon for a higher amount.
Exactly.
And instead of having technical know-how, you had to do manual labor.
That's correct.
To package everything.
Yeah. There is technical know-how, too, so I shouldn't have said that. So there's both, but it's different. It's a lot about knowing about Amazon than... Yeah. So, I mean, how much money do you think you would spend in a given month, and then how much money were you making back? I mean, I started small. I started spending like 100, you know, maybe getting like 200-300 back, and then I kind of went from there. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I mean, my best months where I was doing a combination of like retail arbitrage as well. I would say my best month of retail arbitrage before I got into like wholesaling and stuff on Amazon was I would make like $3,000 to $4,000 a month. You know, just yeah, and it took time to build up because you know back then it was called feeding the beast on Amazon. So you know, the more you sent in, the more you would get back. And actually, you know, it was a lot easier back then than it is now because Amazon has a lot more rules in place, like that Pepto-Bismol I mentioned. Like you probably have to be approved in that category now. Whereas before, you know, the account just came with the approval. Toys and games, I think another one now that you have to be approved in. Mm-hmm. Whereas like I had that approval, you know, at the time just because it came like you didn't have to get approved for it.
Yeah, and this is something we've talked about in our other videos, how, you know, doing something only on Amazon can be a bit binding and also a bit more temporary because you are subject to all these rules and they can just essentially flip the script whenever they feel like it.
Amazon giveth, but they also taketh away.
Yeah. So how many hours do you think you were putting in on those best month? best months?
I would say like 20. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that I was putting in around 20 hours because I wanted to be a pro gamer at the time. So I would go out, do my arbitrage from like 8 to 12 in the morning. This was after I quit my job because I would just I said I was gonna do something else. So I did 8 to 4 in the morning, 8 to 12, and then I'd come home and then I wouldn't do any more work.
So that would be 1 day a week?
No, 4 days a week, or 5 days a week for 4 hours a day.
So 20 hours a week?
Yes.
Okay, 20 hours a week.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, going off of that, do you feel like you had a big investment in Amazon at that time? Like that, did that make you worried at all? The fact that you were spending all this money to send stuff to Amazon?
As I, at first, no, but then as I started to hit that, 2,000 or 3,000 a month mark, it was a lot of inventory. Like I might have had at that point, just to keep the sales consistent, I probably had like $10,000 to $15,000 in inventory. And a lot of it was actually, this was kind of the scary part, was that a big part of it, to be successful at it, again, you had to build it up. But you were always building it up like for a specific reason. Like, for example, like Q4, like the holiday season is the biggest selling time on Amazon. So, for the months coming, you'd be building up your inventory and building up your inventory and building up your inventory with hopes that you were going to sell it all out on Q4. So it did get nerve-wracking when I started to reach those higher numbers, which is why, part of the reason why I eventually turned to, more methods that made more sense from a business perspective.
Yeah, so if you're new to the channel now, essentially what we do is high-ticket dropshipping, where we source, we work with different U.S. suppliers, and instead of actually bringing in their products and dealing with inventory and stuff like that, we just list their products on our website, we sell them through Google Ads, and then when a customer buys it, we ship the product directly from the manufacturer to the customer. So it really avoids the pitfalls of having to have inventory stocked up and you're waiting for it to sell. Yeah. It just allows us to sell, whatever happens, and we make our margin.
Nowadays, sometimes we'll make that 3 to 4K of one sale in 20 minutes. Yeah. Rather than the whole week of going out, maybe sometimes it'd be more because the stores wouldn't have enough product, so I'd have to sometimes drive far. Maybe drive to some places that I didn't want to be in. I actually got kicked out of multiple stores, actually. I got kicked out of a Toys R Us, and I got kicked out of a Trader Joe's for trying to buy too much stuff at once, but there's no other way to do it. To be consistent, you have to scale it. I was trying to leave Trader Joe's with 2 or 3 carts of stuff, and the lady's like, what are you doing with all this? And I don't know. Yeah. If you're going to sell it online, leave right now.
Yeah, so, I remember that. I remember we would go to Trader Joe's and you would just take the shit out of the entire
shelf. Supermarket sweep.
Yeah. But so if someone is new starting out, maybe they haven't really made too much money online yet, and they're looking to make a decision on where they're going to focus their energy so they can maybe quit their job or get a good amount of supplemental income, what would your advice be there?
My advice would be this, and I don't want to just go out and say, check out the course that we offer. And I don't want to be biased like that, because retail arbitrage did serve me well. But what I will say is this: if you're seriously considering getting into online business and making a consistent livable income, then I would rule retail arbitrage out of the equation. I would consider doing retail arbitrage. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. You try to make a little bit extra on the side. You know what I'm saying? You kind of, because retail arbitrage, it could be kind of a fun hobby, but it's not a real business. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and if you are looking to do this long term, and by this I mean make money online, have it as your career, quote unquote, where you'll be able to build wealth for years to come. I don't think retail arbitrage necessarily teaches you many skills that carry over into other avenues.
That's the biggest thing, is that, teaches you a bit about Amazon, but other than that, really no skills. When we started doing our dropshipping stores, I mean, we do more than drop shipping stores now. We have like 10 to 15 websites of, you know, different like content sites, different types of stuff. And you just have to learn so much more. Like we speak like a different language now than when I was doing retail arbitrage. You know, you're learning about, I'm just going to throw some words out there. Like you're learning conversion rates, Google algorithms, you know, cost per click. Like I'm just throwing these stuff out there, but there's a whole, you know, vocabulary that you need to learn how to speak if you want to be successful at online business.
Yeah. I mean, it forces you to kind of get a more real idea of how that actual online marketing world works, whereas Amazon just allows you to kind of plug in and get some cash out. But I mean, they can essentially screw over your business at any time, and you would not come out of it all the better to go out and start a different venture that's outside of Amazon.
If I lost like, I mean, I don't know, I had so much random stuff at Amazon. Like actually, it's kind of funny. To this day, I still get packages back from Amazon from like 5 years ago. Like you see them come in the mail sometimes. Like stuff that they like lost in the warehouse.
Like that they found 5 years later?
Yeah. They'll send me back. Like I got like a spice shaker the other day. You know, so like I had when I had like a lot of stuff in there, a lot of like different SKUs and everything, which is what inevitably happens with retail arbitrage. You have like hundreds and hundreds, thousands of different SKUs. It's tough to manage. So
I mean, I think that gives people a good idea of really the pros and the cons. Amazon is always good for generating cash flow, and you know, in our online assets playbook, I think we really detail how we leverage Amazon to really get maximum cash flow out of it without having to deal with inventory and buy boxes and you know all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, high ticket dropshipping is, in my opinion, superior because it allows you to leverage just huge profit margins all while you're learning skills. And at the end of the day, you have something that you have a business that other people will buy from you. So, you know, you can take your pick and see which one works out for you.
High ticket dropshipping is definitely a more stable foundation than retail arbitrage. Again, retail arbitrage is more of a hobby.
Yeah. So hobby versus business.
And let's not forget, the last thing I want to say is that there's really no selling your retail art. Like, so I was making, you know, $2,000 to $4,000 a month. I couldn't sell that, like all my my inventory at Amazon. You know, if you make a successful e-commerce dropshipping store that's making that, you know, you could sell that for, you know, 20 to 30x the monthly profit. So
also last thing I'll mention is that if you stop doing stuff for the arbitrage business, eventually it'll die out because all your products will, you know, get sold and it constantly needs to be replenished. There's a certain amount of work that needs to be done to upkeep the business. Whereas with dropshipping, you know, if you just have someone running customer service and answering phones, which is not really that hard to acquire, then, you know, Google ads stay going, everything just keeps running. And so
you're setting up a real system that's going to make you money.
You know, we can go a month without doing anything really.
Yeah.
And the cash would still come in.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you got some value out of it. And whether you're interested in high ticket dropshipping or retail arbitrage, you better understand the pros and the cons and how you can make either one work for you.
And be sure to check out our dropshipping playlist below this video. Also our free course, Online Assets Playbook, where we kind of go more into these types of business models. And of course, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next one.